What's up, y'all? Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. Make sure y'all hit that like and sub to this channel if you're not a member. Hit them notifications and share this video too as well. Now, the MVP ladder has come out, and they showed the rankings thus far. Right now, you got Joel, who's at the top. He's the front runner. Then you got Jokic, who's number 2. Then you got Giannis, which I in my personal opinion, I think he should be ahead of Joker. Or really, honestly, I think he should be ahead of Joel Embiid. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I think Joel Embiid should be number 3, but I'm gonna get into that in just a second. Then at number 4, SGA or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from OKC, which nobody tends to talk about. And then you got Luka at number 5. And then the next 5 after that, I don't really have them in any order, but this is the order that they had them. I think it was, they had Tatum at number 6. Then they had Halliburton at number 7. They had Kawhi at number 8. They had KD, I think, at number 9, and then they had Anthony Edwards at number 10. I could be wrong on the order. Don't quote me. And if I'm wrong, y'all feel free to go ahead and correct me. I don't mind constructive criticism. But here's the thing that I'm having a problem with, right? I think that Joel should not be the front runner. Of course, I know why they got him probably as the front runner is because he's leading the league in scoring. Yes, he's played very well for us, but you know my feelings about Joel right now. And if you haven't, go listen to some of the videos that I've made talking about Joel. Okay, I'm very disappointed in Joel right now for several things, and one of them has to do with what's going on in terms of the investigation and stuff. But I'm not going to get into that. That's a separate video. Okay, that's really a part 2 because I've touched on it just briefly, but not fully the investigation that's going on right now. And then also when it comes to Luka, I don't think Luka should be up that high. Okay, yes, Luka's playing fairly decent, but he's also had some games in which in the Mavs and their struggles and everything, you got to look at it and you got to be like, well, I don't know about him. I think Tatum should be higher because Tatum has, the Celtics, the way they've been hooping this season, they got the best record in the league. At least right now they do. And some people feel like they've dropped off these past couple games and whatnot. They did take an L to the Clippers. And see, that brings up Kawhi. Kawhi and Jason Tatum both have a case. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Is when you talk about KD and when you talk about Halliburton, right? First off, you got to give props to Halliburton and what he's doing and what he's done. Before he got injured, Halliburton definitely was making noise, especially when they played the little in-season tournament, which I felt like was really pointless. But I'm not going to talk about that. Halliburton has it's really showing what it means to be a prototypical point guard in this league. And he is really leading that Indiana Pacers team and really showing that he wants the Pacers to be taken seriously like they once used to be. Because the Pacers haven't been taken seriously for a very long time. And he wants to get it back to where Pacers culture. That's not to say that they were winning lots of championships or anything like that, but they were really competitive. They were going to the finals at one point. They would go to the Eastern Conference Finals. They were always battling. The Pacers were always in the mist. Okay, so Halliburton does have a case to be in that top 5 too as well. Now KD, you can say KD as well. I don't agree with him with what he has to say about being the GOAT. My feelings is just be quiet and play ball, man. And then once all that is finished, then you let the people decide. Okay. So those guys, they definitely have a case to be in that top 5. Now, the reason why I didn't say Anthony Edwards, you could have said that in the beginning of the season, but when he played Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he pretty much, SGA put it on notice to Anthony Edwards that right now I'm the best 2 guard in the league. I'm the best guard in the league right now. Okay? And they were on display to show that. So, if I had to pick my top 5, here is what my top 5 would be, okay? I would probably have SGA at number 1. Okay? I would have SGA at number 1. I would have Tatum at number 2. I would have Greek at number 3. I would probably put Joker at number 4, and even though I don't really want to, but he does play for my squad, and I might be biased a little bit, but I also look at from a standpoint of, he has had some good games to where, okay, why aren't you doing this on a consistent basis? I'll go with Joel Embiid. Okay, but like I said, man, it's real tricky because a lot of the guys. See, the reason why I got Tatum up that high is because they had the best record in the league, and the reason why I have Giannis up that high is because, despite everything that's been going on, Giannis has still been killing. Giannis is one of those type of players that he stays focused no matter what is going on. The Bucks could be losing. He still is focused, and it still has tunnel vision. Okay? Yeah, he's still that guy that remains consistent. Has he had some ups and downs in this season? Yeah, he has. But for the most part, Giannis remains. He's in my opinion, Giannis is one of the most consistent players to ever play the game of basketball. You know, and I know that's probably like something simple to say, or you know, people are gonna be like, well, you're supposed to be consistent and everything, but I don't think people understand how his mentality is different. And then also another thing is too that these 5 players are international. I think Jokic Alexander is considered international. All 5 of them are international players. You got Giannis. You have let me go in order. You got Embiid, you have Joker, you got Giannis, then you got Jokic, Alexander, and then you have Luka. All 5 of them are front runners to be the MVP, and they're not from the U.S. And that right there, that tells you something. You know, that tells you a lot. And that, you know, the international game, it's much different than the U.S. game. And they actually see it as easy over here. That's just like when Lucas said that it's much easier over here. I mean, he's coming over here and he's pretty much clowning. Now, Lucas still got a lot of stuff that he got to work on. You know, but for the most part, they're already talking about if Luka is the best scorer of this generation. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Like I said, I don't think Joel Embiid should be number 1. I think what was real key for that too is, and see, I look for matchups too. See, SGA should be much higher, or at least in that top 3 too, or has a case for top 3, because he showed up against Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards showed up too. But see, what did Joel Embiid do? When it's time to show the world in the regular season, just a regular season game, when it's time to show the world in Denver, right? In Denver. We're not talking about in Philly. We're talking about in Denver. When it's time to match up against Jokic, you are nowhere to be found. And I think you haven't played in Denver, I think, since 2019 or something like that. But like I said, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that, though. We're going to get into all of that. But like I said, that's a whole nother video. But I look for the matchups. You know, that's what's showing the people, okay, if you, not to say that that's all you're playing for is the MVP, even though some players, they want to add that hardware. But if you truly want an MVP and you want to show people that you are the most valuable player, well, part of that is showing up against someone that they say is better than you, or your rival, or even against a rival team. So you got to show up, and that's why I had to knock Joel down on that list too. And plus he's missed a significant amount of time. Not too much, but he's missed some time too. And Maxey has been the one on the team that has really carried things. You know, that to me is value. You know, that's value, and also being reliable. That's another key thing about being an MVP too. That's why Jokic has 2 of them. A lot of people argue, oh well, why did Giannis win MVPs and why did Jokic win MVPs? Well, the reason is because they're reliable. It's not like, with Joel, every time you turn around, he's hurt. Something's wrong. And for a while there, you thought that was going on with Luka. But Luka has stepped it up and, he's played, but it was like, dang, every time you turn around, okay, something going on with Luka. But those are my thoughts on it. Y'all tell me what you think. Make sure y'all leave me a comment. Like the video, share it. Also sub to the channel too. And hit them notifications. Until then, it's straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. I'll get at y'all later.